I will never, ever get bored of this. Is this what it felt like to be a Manchester United glory supporter growing up? When you grew up in somewhere like Solihull, like I did, and you just went, do you know what I mean, lads? I'm not going to support my local team. I'm going to support Manchester United because they win things. And now you're stuck there watching Eric Ten Hag's absolute shambles of a team, crying your eyes out to Mark Goldbridge, whining and pissing and moaning and whatever else it is he does. Right now, Aston Villa are just amazing. We are an absolutely brilliant football team. I'm just, I know I get hyperbolic on here. I know I get a little bit carried away sometimes. I know that I'm probably a bit overly joyous or whatever. But how can you not enjoy what we are witnessing as Aston Villa fans right now? How can you not enjoy that we have a Champions League badge right there on our sleeve with 3 games into the first ever format of the Champions League in this style? We got the league, and 3 games in, conceded no goals, scored, what is it, 6 goals? We're top of the league. We are top of the league after 3 games. Real Madrid are looking up. Jude Bellingham's looking up in tears, thinking, I'm used to this feeling of looking up at Aston Villa, way above me as a Birmingham City fan. Get used to it. Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Harry Kane's there going, I'm supposed to come here and win trophies. I don't know if I can win the Champions League now with Hurricane Villa on the prowl. I mean, we're above every single team you can think of. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like I said, this must be what it was like my entire childhood when my local Solihull friends who chose to support the likes of Man United and Liverpool were all sitting there celebrating about how brilliant it was to support their teams. And while Aston Villa were having terrible losses here and there, and now, I mean, what Professor Unai has done to this football club is beyond belief. It is absolutely unbelievable. Now, look, I understand Bologna are not the Bologna of Thiago Motta last season. In fact, we're going to see Thiago Motta in a few weeks when he turns up at Villa Park with Juventus, and that will be a tough old day out because he's a top manager and he plays brilliant football. He played brilliant football last season with Bologna. They deserve to get up into the top 4. They've lost Calafiori, who's gone to Arsenal. They've lost Zirkzee, who's gone to Manchester United. They've lost Motta, who's gone to Juventus. So obviously there's a lot of turnaround and a lot of challenges for Bologna. They've travelled over the Spaghetti Junction to get to Villa Park. Bologna on the Spaghetti Junction. I quite enjoy that. And didn't we give them spaghetti legs tonight? Morgan Rogers going that way. He shifts, he slides, he glides, he does it all. The man is going right to the very top. And back in the day, you'd have said if he's going to the top, next season he'll go to a Chelsea, he'll go to a Man United, he might even go to a Real Madrid abroad. But you look at Aston Villa right now, why would you want to leave this team? Why would you want to go to West Ham like Duran almost did a few weeks ago? Why would you want to go anywhere right now? Honestly, my goodness. Bologna turned up over the Spaghetti Junction, turned up at Villa Park, and, I think the first sort of 15 minutes, I think they emulated a little bit what Olympiacos did to us in the Conference League last season. And maybe this is a sign that Aston Villa have learnt. But what they were doing was, it seemed to me like they were pushing Ndoye and sticking him far out wide. So they're almost saying to him, don't bother coming inside. Don't bother. Because Aston Villa will go narrow when they're out of possession. Just stick to the touchline. Let Konsa come inside and we'll get the ball out to you as quickly as we can. And on a few occasions in the first half, particularly the first 20 to 25 minutes, Ndoye looked really, really dangerous. And something else they were doing was, like Olympiacos, some of their midfielders or the striker, they would step a little bit deeper and then time their run perfectly in behind. So that if they time the run perfectly, when the one of the wide players or a defender has the ball and they could just knock it through Villa's high line, then suddenly they can get in one-on-one and goal, or they can knock it across or pull it back for a striker or one of their teammates, right? And I think Bologna actually did that pretty well for those 20, 25 minutes. And I'd imagine their XG might have been slightly higher than Villa's. They definitely had a couple of chances where Emi Martinez had to make a couple of big saves. But I do think had a couple of those chances gone in, I think it would have been offside. Because a couple of times I was saying live, I was like, that was offside. And then they played on and nothing happened. They just carried on. But I thought if that was pulled back, that would be offside. It was offside. Um, but anyway, look, so Villa's high line, I think, worked well again, of course. But do you know something I noticed? So the first 15 to 20 minutes, it felt a bit like a little bit Olympiacos, Villa, the better, sort of more in possession, slightly the better team. But if they can just time their runs right, they could work a chance and work a goal, and they almost did. But Fabian, the midfielder, was coming in centrally and trying to make runs in behind. In the first 10 minutes, I think he had two chances, maybe. There was definitely one chance he had. Now, whether it was an instruction from Professor Unai, who saw that quickly, or was Amadou Onana himself reacting rapidly within the game. But Onana suddenly stuck close to Fabian. And what I noticed was happening suddenly was that when Villa were out of possession, we were almost going to a back five. And Onana was coming back far enough with Fabian to prevent him from making that run in between Concert and Carlos. So Aston Villa suddenly were cutting off that running behind and therefore sort of neutralising the threat to the high line, which maybe is a lesson we learned from the Olympiacos game last season, and was a big way in which they killed us at home last year. So that was really good to see. I think Bologna, they were difficult to play through, and I think that Aston Villa, though, I think we looked brilliant. I think they were just large spells where Aston Villa looked absolutely quality. I thought Maatsen down the left. I said I think he's a more dynamic attacker than Luca Dean, particularly in the final third. Luca Dean is more of a crosser. Luca Dean, though, I think defensively is fantastic. And look, he's got a lot of assists this season. He's actually done really well going into the final third. We are very, very fortunate that we have two left backs of that degree of quality that we can go into the Premier League and say, Luca Dean, you start this game, like we did the other day away at Fulham. And then we go, do you know what? Actually, you don't need to play midweek. Give your legs a rest. Ian Maatsen, you can come in and start. You're losing nothing. And in fact, you're gaining something in attack. And Maatsen's brilliant defensively anyway. When in our lives as Aston Villa fans have we ever been able to witness that? What I'm used to is looking at and going, Liber Kozak, oh, you've had your shorts pulled down. You need to come off. Next game, we'll give you a rest for Grant Holt. I mean, how am I living in a world where I got this Aston Villa shirt on and I've got a Champions League patch on my sleeve, and Villa have got 3 wins from 3, 9 points, and we're top of the bloody league? How? It's like I'm living in a dream right now, right? It's like I'm like Bobby Ewing in Dallas, which is a bit of an old school reference. I'm going to wake up here and I'll be in the shower and be like, wait, what do you mean Villa are still in the Championship? It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable this is happening. And anyway, look, the atmosphere was fantastic. First half, I think we reacted well to Bologna's opening counter threat. But I think Villa, overall, first half, some of the play was just, oh my goodness. Michelin star Neil. Michelin star. You are a pretentious, wanky critic who works for, I don't know, the Guardian or the Observer, and you go down to a top French restaurant that's just opened in somewhere, I don't know, in central London, and you come out and you go, that tasted like watching Aston Villa play football. It was magic. Fantastic. Morgan Rogers, my goodness. He slides, he shifts and he glides. The man is poetry. The man, William Shakespeare wrote beautiful poetry, and it was in the shape of Morgan Rogers moving. It was just, the way the man can control a ball under so much pressure, work his way past players without even sprinting at them. It's just, the way he picks his pass, the way he can find it. The guy's 21 years old, 22, whatever it is. Can you imagine how good he's going to be in 1 year, 2 years? We've got a bloody Ballon d'Or winner here. It's unbelievable. Cole Palmer stole his cold celebration. In a year's time, Cole Palmer would be begging for his autograph. He's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But the work he was doing, I thought Onana was superb. Carlos Pau again. McGinn came in, was brilliant, holding the ball up, turning, finding passes. I thought McGinn was great all game again. Matson bombing down the left, finding the space in behind with the inverted fullback that Bologna were playing. I thought he was brilliant. And do you know what? I thought Jhon Durán again. Jhon Durán showed today he's not just a goal scorer. I think he's been showing it all season, to be fair. But I think that he got his start today and he showed there was that one moment where he knew Leon Bailey was running in behind and the awareness to know Bailey was making that run and to jump up and head it over the top of the defender behind him. Oh, yeah, just quality. There was a lot of things that Duran did tonight that made me think again, what is he, 19, 20 years old now, I think. Man, the all-round intelligence that he's starting to show. The goal he scored tonight, again, just another goal. And again, he just stands there, waits for the cross, physically forces the big, strong Bologna defender away, gets a bit of space, and just takes his chance. The man is an absolute fantastic striker. I know he threw a bit of a strop coming off, but I don't really care about that. He's a young guy. Sometimes brilliant talents are a bit different, and Professor Unai Emery's dealt with this for 2 years now, and I'm sure he'll just continue to deal with it and go, but there's a reason we brought you off. We need to balance up minutes. We need to do all these different things. And you did a fantastic job. Come off, rest your legs, and then go again against Bournemouth. That's the way it is. We've got loads of games coming up. You're going to get lots of starts, and I'm sure you're going to get lots of goals. So balance up the minutes. That's the way we have to do it. And yeah, I thought Duran genuinely all game. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. All round striker play, supreme. The man's going like Morgan Rogers. He's going to the very top. He's going to the top of Mount Everest, top of Olympus Mons, the highest point in the solar system on Mars. But overall, look, second half came out. I think again Bologna started a little bit better. I think Villa took a little bit of time to just get going. Once they did, though, that the poetry, the play, it was all there. It was all there, and the goal came. I don't really know what Bologna were complaining about for McGinn's goal from a free kick. Their player was down. I get it, but I mean, I think they did it quite a bit tonight, really. And I just no, I don't really feel that much sympathy with him for that. But that said, I think Bologna, they're a top team. I think their form will improve this season. But no, John McGinn, my goodness. The magic of seeing John McGinn score for Aston Villa in the Champions League, not just play in the Champions League, but score in front of the whole end. That's the first Champions League goal scored in front of the whole end, and it was John McGinn. And John McGinn has been with Aston Villa through some very, very dark days, from very tough times, and he's been there from a very low point in Aston Villa's history, through the losing the playoff final, through the fear of Aston Villa. Were we ever going to come back from that? Were we destined to be a new Sheffield Wednesday, stuck in the lower leagues and couldn't get back up? A big name, historic name, a bit of a Middlesbrough in the Premier League for many years, but just couldn't get back. And we genuinely were so close to that. And McGinn was there through thick and thin, like Tyrone Mings as well. Just to have these two who are such stalwarts over the years, to know, to see Mings back from his injury, warming up, to know he's coming back very soon, and then to see McGinn score a goal. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's like, it's like you see the most. You walk along Noosa Beach in Australia, in Queensland, if you've ever been there. If you have, I haven't. Most beautiful place on the planet. It's like that. It's Cameron Diaz in The Mask, who I grew up as like that was my pin-up as a kid. Just beautiful stuff. And so yeah, got the goal. I think it was coming. I'd say first half for you to be critical. I think that for all of Villa's possession and brilliant play, we didn't score a goal and we didn't quite work an opening. I think Leon Bailey, as we say, he's working his way back. He's working his confidence back. I think where it's going to come from is that he starts on the bench, comes on for half an hour, has a real game-changing half an hour display, gets a goal or an assist, and he'll be absolutely fine. I think today what happened, he started really sharp. It looked a lot sharper than he has done recently. But I think the physical battle of it, I think being doubled up on. I think the referee not really giving him fouls. I think that's slightly got into his head a little bit. And so I think he slightly dropped off a bit as the game went on. But still, I think there were more positive signs tonight from Bailey than from more recent games, that he might just be getting back to it there now and get a goal, get an assist. It will come. It will come. Plenty of games for it to come. And then Aston Villa, anyway, dominated second half. Brilliant stuff. Ross Barkley comes on. I mean, what a signing he's been. 5 million quid. I mean, that's a bargain. You walked into Sainsbury's and got buy one, get one free, and Ross Barkley came out. You're like, who's this lad? Is just so incredible at football. Who just retains the ball, so calm under pressure, maintains the relentlessness of Aston Villa's possession. And then the second goal came. Lovely ball over the top. I think it was from Diego Carlos. Again, he's done it a couple of times now this season. Into Morgan Rogers, who deserves to get an assist or a goal tonight. Supreme stuff from Rogers. Great touch to sort of take it down, get into the space, and what a ball into Durán. And as I said before, Durán's striker play there, physically outmuscling his fellow Colombian, the Bologna defender, and just getting the finish. That is fantastic striker play. As I said tonight, I thought Durán was unbelievably good. So, look, all round, what more can you say? Maybe at the end we could have got a third. Jacob Ramsey, that's nitpicking. That's nitpicking. You know, Villa's form right now is just incredible. It's incredible. 3 wins in 3 in the Champions League. We're a Champions League team and we're top of the bloody league. Real Madrid are currently sitting around going, I mean, they've switched the lights off. Jude Bellingham, Pep Guardiola, they're all sitting in darkened rooms at Man City, Real Madrid, AC Milan, Barcelona, wherever. They're all in darkened rooms. La Masia, tomorrow they get all the kids in at the Barcelona Youth Academy, put it on video and say, watch Aston Villa, and just learn from that. Learn from that, lads. It's unbelievable. I jest, of course, but only a little bit. What a team. Please like and subscribe. If you don't subscribe, it means you're a Birmingham City fan. If you don't follow on Spotify, Apple, don't write nice reviews, that must mean you're a Birmingham City fan. I jest slightly. Subscribe on YouTube, comment down below, comment on Spotify, comment wherever. Let me know what your thoughts were on the game. But can you believe it? Aston Villa, another win in the Champions League, another quality, class performance. We are a fantastic football team. And the best is yet to come up the mighty Villa.